What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming to you guys today with a deck profile and an update for the Harpie deck. Yes, the Harpies. It has been a very long time coming, and I've been very busy with a lot of other things, of course. And I at least wanted to give you guys something that I've been doing on my off time, and that's playing Harpies. So, as we all know, the Fusion Festival is still going on. Don't worry, I will have a deck profile up for the deck I'm using for the Fusion Festival, because I already got the reward I wanted from the Fusion Festival, and that's the Instant Fusion mate that is given to you once you've done a certain amount of points. So, I already have that. What I'm doing now at this point is just recording deck profiles of the decks that I've used, and if I have any videos for whichever deck that I'm deck profiling, I hope it's there because I have been making room, as much room as I possibly can. So, with that said, we're going to take a look at my Harpie deck, and I don't think it's much of a difference from the one that I was running before. Maybe it is. I don't know, because I haven't looked at my last video, and I basically have just been playing what I've had, or I think I may have changed a couple of cards, but we'll go ahead and go through it, and then we'll go to the video. So, starting off is 3 copies of Harpie Perfumer, 3 copies of Harpie Channeler, 3 copies of Harpie Lady 1, 2 copies of Harpie Harpist, 2 copies of Harpie Oracle, 1 copy of Harpie Lee Sisters, 1 copy of Harpie Dancer, 1 copy of Harpie Queen, 1 copy of the Barrier Sexual Stormwinds, 1 copy of 1 copy of Miss Valley Apex Avian, and 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. For the spell cards, 3 copies of Hysteric Sign, 3 copies of Alien Egotist, 2 copies of Harpie's Hunting Ground, 1 copy of Harpie's Feathered Esther, 1 copy of Harpie's Feathered Rest, 1 copy of the Alluring Mirror Split, 1 copy of, no, 2 copies of Harpie's, of Winged Requital, and then 2 copies of Swallow's Nest. Then 3 copies of Harpie's Featherstorm and 1 copy of Hysteric Party. For the extra deck, we got 3 copies of Cyber / Harpie Lady, 1 copy of Harpie Conductor, 1 copy of Harpie's Penthouse Dragon, 1 copy of Great Fly, 1 copy of Tri Brigade Ferrijit, the Burning Blossom, 1 copy of Samorg, the Bird of Sovereignty, 1 copy of Tri Brigade Shirag, the Ominous Omen, 1 copy of Utopia, 1 copy of Utopia Array, 1 copy of Utopia the Lightning, 1 copy of Divine Arsenal, Double Lazy Sky Thunder, 1 copy of Babushka, the Terribly Tired Tape Eater, 1 copy of Ice V05, and 1 copy of Lightning Chidori. So, yeah, that is the big synopsis. Well, that's the look, not the synopsis. That's the look of the deck itself. And then just give me a brief moment, and I will go into videos. Okay, so this is one match that I found. I actually just looked. I don't have too many matches involving the deck, so I do apologize. But at least the setup of play is a little better. So starting off, this is a match against a Tribute Monarch deck. I started with Harpie Perfumer. I go for Elegant Egotist. I go for the Ego to summon Harpie Lady 1. Then we go into Ferrijit, the Burden Blossom. For Ferrijit, I activate Hysteric Sign. I go grab another Ego. I activate Ferrijit to summon Oracle. I use Oracle to retrieve. I activate Ego. I go get Sisters. I search out for I go and summon Samorg, the Bird of Sovereignty. And then I activate Ferrijit, I send back Hunting Ground, and I play Feather Rest so I can get back my 3 Harpies to send them back into the deck and draw 2. And then I end my turn on Samorg, who is going to go get Barrier Statue, while Harpie Oracle is retrieving Elegant Egotist. So then my opponent starts off with their turn. What is that card? They activate Card Advance. Then they activate Advance's card to change the order of attack. They destroy Hysteric Sign, and they destroy Harpie Lady Sisters and use Fissure to destroy the Barrier Statue. So my end phase, I'm going to summon out my Bird His Valley Apex Avian, and then I use Hysteric Sign to search for 3 Harpie cards: Harpie's Feather Storm, Harpie's Feather Duster, and Harpie Queen. Because as you see, I don't only draw another Chandler, but I have one in my hand. So I go for the Feather Duster, and then my opponent scoops, because basically it is pretty much game at that point. Alright, moving on. Okay, so going on, we move on to our next battle, and it is, I believe, I go first? Yeah, so I basically go into another perfumer setup, and then they go for the Ash Blossom. So I chain the Featherstorm to deal with their monster. They chain the Maxi, and I'm like, okay, well, let's play the Maxi challenge. Let's see what my opponent can do. So I go for the Harpie Perfumer to search for the Elegant Egotist. I play the Egotist so that I can search for a Harpie Lady. I go for the Swallow's Nest. I think I tag in for Harpie Channeler to tag out for another Harpie Channeler to search out for Harpie Harpist. I didn't use Harpist's effect to go and grab for. I go for Harpist and Channeler so I can go for Ferjit. And then I go for Simorg at this point. Basically, I'm going in the barrier statue of the Stormwood. So what if my opponent has a massive handful of cards? I'm going to summon something that you can't do anything against, and that's a barrier statue of the Stormwind, because if your deck's running not wind monsters, well, you're going to have a pretty hard time getting over this bird. Especially considering that the Morg is now protecting it. So my opponent is playing what I believe what is actually Chaos. And this is a very long match. Just because of the fact that the barrier statue is now gone, and now I have to start dealing with Blue Eyes. So yeah, it's Blue Eyes Maximum Dragon, I believe. No, Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon that comes out during the summon. So then they go for the Sage. They switch out to go for the Abyss Dragon, and the Abyss Dragon adds advanced ritual art from the deck to their hand. So at this point, I'm panicking because I now have to deal with all of these monsters. So my idea is basically just beat them up. So I summon Miss Valley Apex Avian during the end phase. Takes us some work. I go for the Harpie Chandler. I go for the Elegant Egotist to go from the sign. I go into the sign to go get the Harpie Lady Sisters. I activate Chandler to pitch Perfumer to go get Perfumer. So then I'm really much just trying to get cards to survive that I can knock something over, at least. So here I go for the Synchro Summon, and I get our big girl. I get Cypress / Harpie Lady. From that, I play Harpie's Hunting Ground. I activate my Monster Spec, but I forget that the Chaos Dragon can't be bounced because of his effect to be unaffected by monster effects. So I go for the Harpie's Feather S to at least try to get back the Harpie Lady 1 to get into an Elegant Egotist. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and I think this was the duel where I realized, ooh, I'm kind of short on cards, and I really do need to run monsters to buff stats. So I think at this point, no, do I go for the Great Fly? No, I go for the Conductor, to at least protect the Harpies. So I go for a Harpie Lady 1 off of the Somort effect, and I add Ego back to hand thanks to the effects of Harpie Oracle, because at least I know there's one more Harpie Lady in the deck. So I go for the Featherstorm to cancel out any monster effects, just because the eventual art can be a problem. What ends up happening is that I forget that my Cyber / Harpie Lady can't bounce back that Chaos Dragon, because unfortunately that stupid dragon is unaffected by other card effects. So yeah, I do negate, thankfully, the ritual spell, so that way there's not another dragon coming into the field, but then they start playing one from the hand. Oh no, I get one from the graveyard, so they go for the Silver's Cry to get the white dragon, the dragon spirit of white, to deal with Hysteric Sign, but I activated Harvey's Featherstorm prior to. So the Conductor, I believe, does stay, but unfortunately I lose my Harpies outside of Chandler. So I'm like, oh great, this is just perfect. Luckily enough, the Spirit of White was supposed to get contributed to try to play to try to get another Blue Eyes, but the Feather Storm, thankfully, was still in effect. So I go for the interface, I go get a Chandler, I go get Honey Ground, and I go get Feather Storm. Because I still have Ego in hand, and I have at least enough targets to do stuff with. So I go for the Harpie Chandler, I go for the Elegant Egotist, I go get a Harpie Lady 1, I activate the Egotist, I activate the Chandler, I go get Oracle. At this point, I'm just trying to get something big enough to the field so I can knock over most of these monsters. So I go for Utopia, and then I go for Utopia Array, and then I go for Utopia the Lightning. I know his name is Utopia Array, but no, Array just sounds better. Anyway, so I go for the Lightning, because I know at this point I'm going to have enough points to take out one of these monsters, regardless of what my opponent does. So I'm going to go for Hysteric Sign to go get another Ego. I'm going to activate the Ego to pull out another Harpie Lady 1. So now basically my field is strong enough to take out my opponent. And I was really crunching for time because I didn't think I was going to make something big enough to take it out. But thankfully I did, and thankfully I run multiple monsters. So at this point I do believe yeah, that is a game, and I do defeat my opponent. So, I believe there's one more video, and give me 1 second. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I have to, really check, because they don't have a really good system with what decks are what. You have to legitimately remember off the top of your head. So, this is Magic Spectre, if I am not mistaken. So, I go first, and I do my 1500 combo set. So I go for the Ego off of the Channeler. I go for the Ego's effect. My opponent wants to play Maxi Challenge with me. This is always a hit or miss when it comes to Maxi, because you never know exactly what you're going to get yourself into. So at this point, I said, fuck it. I'm going to play the Maxi Challenge with my opponent. And I basically start setting up my board to have enough stuff on the field that if my opponent tries to react with things, there's not much reaction that they can do, or I can at least defend myself from that interaction. So I go ahead and I link into Farigite, the Bird and Blossom, off of the, I believe that was the Harpie Tumor and the Harpie Channeler. I go for the Ego to go get Harpie Lady 1. I activate the Luring Mirror Split. I go from here to grab the Cyber / Harpie Lady, who's also here. Do I link summon? Yeah, I link summon, and I go for our friend Samorg, the Bird of Sovereignty. I play the Harpies. I think Farigite activates, and I send back the Dancer because I don't need it. I activate the Harpies Featherus to send back Harpie Ladies 1 and the Harpie Lady Sisters. And then I play another Egotist to go get Harpie Lady from the deck. So at the end of the turn, I'm going to go get a monster, but I'm going to Ash Blossom that Gamma, because Gamma is trying to social summon itself. So thankfully, Ash negates that. And because of this, I go ahead and go into Barrier Statue of the Stormer. So now my opponent really can't do much, because I have a Barrier Statue in attack mode. It can be targeted. I have a large array of monsters in the field. So my opponent goes for the Summon Storm. And I didn't think it was Magic Sector. I was assuming it was another Harpie deck, but no, it's Magic Sector. And they start playing all the shenanigans with their Link Zones and everything. So they Pendulum Summon, I think about a couple of cards. They go for the QB, they go for the Neko. I don't think I changed anything to any of this. I just know that, yeah, I have most of your monsters in defense position, and even your highest static monster, Yada, can't kill my Barrier Statue of Storm. So they go for Link Summon. No, they go for a C Summon, and they summon Cicada King. And they sit in defense mode. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, there's not much I can do, and there's not much I can summon. So I go ahead and I activate my Harpies Featherus so that I can get back my Harpies so I can draw more cards. In response, I chain my Cyber / Harpie Lady, and then they chain Tempest. So it's like, ooh, I didn't see that coming. But I do lose my monster. Luckily enough, I still draw off of it. So, because the requirements for the spell was activated still. So I go for the Ring Breakable. I play 200. I go for my summons at this point. My opponent plays Maxi again, and I'm like, no more Maxi challenge. And I play Harpie's Feather Storm to negate the Maxi. So Maxi is negated, and I'm going to do all the special summoning that I want. So I go for Harpie Channeler, its effect, and then my opponent scoops because literally I'm going to start popping stuff and I'm going to start destroying stuff. So alright, and I think I'm going to have one more video for you guys before I round it out. So alright guys, and this is the last video for you. And this was one I did not expect, like, at all. And when it happened, oh, did it happen. So, I believe, do I go first or does my opponent go first? No, my opponent goes first. So, it is Harpies. Yeah, and it is not, it is a very, I just started playing the game and I somehow managed to get far through some rankings. So, I go for the Harpie Sunny Ground. I go for the Harpie Channeler. I destroy the Hysteric Party. I go for the Harpie Dancer. I destroy my field spell. I bounce back my monster so that I can play Harpie Perfumer. I use her effect to go get Harpie's Feather Rest. I play the Wing Requital, and I draw 2. I think at this point I'm going to Synchro Summon. Yeah, I'm going to Synchro Summon. And I'm going for our lovely Cyber Slash. At this point, because I know at this point there's nothing that my opponent really can do with the summoning of Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon, I'm just going to go ahead and start swinging. So I end phase, and I don't even set a card. I just know that I have the Feather Storm, and if my opponent tries anything, I can start negating. So my opponent goes for the Harpie Oracle, I go for the Feather Storm. I go for the Harpie Channel, for the Cyber Slash, and I bounce back the Oracle. Because that way, there's no Harpie on the field except for mine, and even then, the Feather Storm is going to negate basically any of the monster's effects. So because of this, my opponent ends up giving me the win. So yeah, it was a very crazy. Actually, give me a minute. I can show you what the deck looks like. Okay, and this is the deck that the player was using. It's a lot of commons. It's a lot of normal rares. I think the only exceptions are the Harpie Channeler, the Harpie Dancers, the Perfumers, the Oracle. No, the Perfumers, the Harpies. I mean, Queens are rare. Yeah, most of these are like normal stuff. And then it's like it's very much the, hey, I'm just starting to play this, and Harpies is my favorite deck. And I mean, the effort is there. It's just the execution is, yeah. Get out there, buddy. Go get some cards, play some more games, and by all means, play the story mode, because the story mode is going to get you a lot more stuff. So I'll be right back, you guys, to end off today's video. So, alright guys, I am back and it is time to wrap up today's video. So those were some very interesting matches and I was excited to show them to you guys. I'm going to be working on another build of Harpies in the meantime, so probably sometime in June, maybe sometime in June, I'll probably have another deck profile for you guys ready to go. But after this one, I want to be focusing on videos for what is that deck I'm playing? For the Fusion Festival. Yeah, I'm going to do some more videos for the Fusion Festival. Which means I can also now clear some of the space so I can do Fusion Festival stuff. With that said, thanks everybody for coming and watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. Hit the notification bell so you guys can be informed when I do upload more content to the channel. In the description box below is all my social media links, so if you guys want to interact with me on social media, you definitely can. And you guys hit me up on Twitch at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerJoe, where I'll be live streaming, and this live stream record will be for Sonic Adventure DX. So, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you awesome people next time. HBJ signing out. Take care.